Welcome, crypto fam, to No. 1 Daily Bitcoin Pod. In today's show, I'll be sharing the latest technical analysis. Bitcoin hash rate hits a new all-time high. Also, Texas Bitcoin Reserve hearing symbolic move for crypto. I'll be breaking down this report, as well as Javier Milei risk impeachment after endorsing the multi-billion-dollar Libra rug pull. Womp womp. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin analyst Plan B transfers his Bitcoin to the ETFs to avoid hassle with keys. Very interesting. I'll be sharing my 2 Satoshis on this. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin's giant megaphone pattern sets a $270,000 to $300,000 Bitcoin price target in play, as well as Abu Dhabi Sovereign Wealth Fund reports owning $455 million worth of BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF in their latest ETF filing. And also, Nayib Bukele, president of the free world over in El Salvador, Bitcoin country, recently met with Saylor and Max Keiser to discuss Bitcoin adoption. And quoting David Bailey, Abu Dhabi has gone in much bigger than today's filing. There's a couple of other GCC members that are making the big moves. Was hoping this would be announced at Bitcoin Mania, but they weren't already, which means more countries in the Middle East stacking the biddy. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more in today's show. Welcome everyone to the live stream. What it do? First and foremost, shout out to Bring Facts. He got me this awesome shirt gifted with my handsome avatar on it at the 100K Bitcoin Fiesta. So shout out Bring Facts. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate the t-shirts that you gifted me. And a reminder as well, anyone who attended the 100K Fiesta in Puerto Rico, unfortunately, the hats came in fashionably late. My target was to give everyone hats at the party. They came in after, so I will be shipping them all out, just FYI, on Tuesday, because Monday is President's Day. So if you haven't reached out to me yet and you attended the party, make sure you reach out to me via email, cryptonewsalerts11@gmail.com, or DM me over on X and shoot me your address, and I'll get your caps out to you, and just let me know if you prefer white or black. And with that being said, welcome everyone to the live stream. What a motherfucking do. Shout out East Afro King. Where's the Nippinator? He's with my mom downstairs and my little one, but I'm sure he'll be visiting. It's the one and only chairman of the SEC. Billowette from DC, welcome. Good to have you here. Shout out Matt Mann. Happy Sunday, fun day. Church is in session. I'm going to be preaching the Holy Gospel of Satoshi for the next couple of hours. So welcome everyone just joining us. Shout out Greg. Good to have you here. Bitcoin mining difficulty was readjusted last Sunday, which directly impacts the Bitcoin hash rate. Hit the all-time high of 114.7. I know, man. And we all know the Bitcoin price follows the hash rate. And welcome everyone again joining us. I am streaming live on X, Rumble, and YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and pin the stream to the top of my X profile. That way it's easy to find. And you know it's today's stream because I'm rocking the white hat. Yesterday I was rocking the black hat. And it is officially pinned, so it should be very simple for you guys to find. And any comments or quotes on the live stream via X will get reposted, shouted out. I'll even repost you from my secondary account, BTC News Alerts, and also shout you out live. So take advantage of it. And thank you guys in advance for blowing up the stream. We greatly appreciate it. This is how we hack the algorithm and orange pill more of the masses on a Sunday fun day. 97,000 is the new 72. Pretty much, broskies. And shout out Max Keiser, the high priest, the bishop of Bitcoin. Appreciate the repost on my content. Shout out Don George. Greatly appreciate you, brother. Let's do this. And I'm going to go ahead and start reposting everyone. East Afro King, proof of work. Wishing you a blessed Sunday from JV and the fam. Thank you, brother. And let's hit them with the theme music.
Oh my gosh, it's finally almost here. JV is going to talk to us. Crypto news is near. I can't stand waiting. There is no debating. I waited all day, maybe I need a life, but Bitcoin is all I can think about day and night. Hurry, JV.
Welcome everyone to the live stream. Happy Sunday, fun day. A lot of familiar names in here, which I love to see. 110,000 in play. That's what's up. We're not too far out. I mean, we're practically 12,000 away from price discovery right now. I think the next leg up, once we break 1093 is going to be in the 124 to 130 range, which are the targets on the 1 hour and 4 hour charts. We also have the 100, I believe, 124, 126 target on the weekly time frame as well. I'll be pulling up some of the live charts here shortly. Again, welcome everyone just joining us. Good to see you, Chris. Stacking a sats. Shout out Crypto Surge in the building. The Crypto Doctor in the house. What up, Doc? Can we rock? Stack the bitty. Church is in session. Shortcoin. Welcome. Good to have you here as well, and the rest of the Biddy fam. Kim Murphy, appreciate it. Mr. Corvette, appreciate it. Shortcoin, appreciate it. Let's go, DGens. Crypto News is here. Just hit you with a repost. Church is in session. You know, we preach in the holy gospel of Satoshi, as we do each and every day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. And yeah, yo. And again, welcome everybody. Let's freaking go. Awesomeness coming before we know it. Shout out Julie Key Largo in the building. 97 still, I know. Just shy of 100 G's, but so close. Halfway through February, a couple of weeks left here in the greatest month of the year. Asian markets opening, I guess it would be around this time, maybe in a few hours. I think they're about 12 hours ahead, depending upon what part of Asia, of course. So we shall see. Lots to discuss today in the markets. Thank you, Diana. Just reposted you. Keep the comments flowing. I'll do my best to be reading everyone's comments out loud as I do each and every day, as this is a live and interactive stream. If you haven't figured it out, we're live on X, Rumble, and YouTube. It's a 2-hour stream. The first hour is pure news. The second hour, I like to kick it with the fam, do some live Q&A, and read as many of the comments out loud as I could, as we always do. Yeah, man. I mean, very exciting times in the markets. As you know, big news broke just yesterday of Abu Dhabi over in the UAE acquiring virtually $500 million worth of Bitcoin. These numbers are actually very higher, according to David Bailey, CEO of Bitcoin Magazine. So we'll be touching upon all this, of course. And in the latest from the high priest, the Bishop of Bitcoin, Max Keiser, and what's going on over there with the meeting between Bukele, Saylor, and the one and only high priest himself. Bitcoin's future desk opens in a few hours. Thank you there, Greg. Smash the like and repost it on X. Thank you, Diana. Oh yeah, Daytona 500 is today, isn't it? Do you guys have someone you're rooting for? Hopefully endorsed by Bitcoin some way, somehow. Shout out Steve. Appreciate it, brother. He wrote, let's have those $1 trillion of Bitcoin buys. Amen. And that's a quote from Max Keiser. Thank you, Crypto Surge. Just reposted Jabrowski. Thank you, Steve W. Best Bitcoin channel. Hands down. That's the most amazing comment ever. So thank you. I appreciate it and glad you guys are enjoying it. But yeah, I'm going to be checking the feed. Trevor, thank you so much. Trying to keep up with you guys. And when I get the chance, I'll switch profiles and repost you guys again. This is how we hack the algorithm in Orange Pill More the Masses. And again, let me know what you think of the new shirt. This was a gift at the 100K Fiesta from my boy, Bring Facts. This was one of, I think, his original NFTs that originally had Elon on it. And he put JV's avatar on it, which is that much more sexier. So you already know. It's been snowing Shortcoin. You got to come to Puerto Rico where there's sunshine virtually every day, minus the rain showers, which do come and go. But right now it's clear skies, beautiful weather, probably mid-80s right now. So I cannot complain. I cannot complain. I don't even know how much I really made. I forgot. It's a lot. You feel me? Fire shirt. Thank you, Serge. Yeah, man. I'm honored to rock this one with the new white cap from my boy Sergio over at bitcoincaps.net. Let me know what you think of the custom caps. I will get them all in the mail on Tuesday for those who attended the event. Obviously, Monday being President's Day, so everything is closed. Long weekend. Best Bitcoin channel, hands down. Well, I greatly appreciate the love. You guys are too kind. So, JV, I do need to come to Puerto Rico. Exactly. Escape the snow and enjoy the sunshine here in the Caribbean. It's a paradise here in Puerto Rico. Greetings. But anyways, let's kick this show off, shall we? If you're new to the channel, very important to smash the likes. Go ahead, subscribe, hit the bell icon, turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto newsletters every single day, 7 days a week, just like this. Today is pod episode 1907. I'm your fearless host, JV, and Satoshi saved me through God, of course. And today is Sunday. I'll be preaching the holy gospel of Satoshi, as we do each and every day. Church is officially in session. Shout out out to all my Bitcoiners out there holding it down. Happy 420 in advance. We got 430 people on the stream, 7 minutes from 420 here in Puerto Rico. But anyways, let's kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day. You should be able to see on your screen, we got Coin 360 pulled up. We got Bitcoin correcting, but barely. Only down about 0.33% on the day, trading just above 97,300 at the time of the live stream. Ether barely in the red, XRP barely in the red. We got Tron and BNB in the green. And checking out coinmarketcap.com. The current crypto market cap is sitting at 3.21 trillion. The Bitcoin market cap, 1.925 trillion. We got roughly 57 billion worth of volume in the past 24 hours, meaning volume's down 22% on the day. And the Bitcoin dominance is right on the cusp of 60% at 59.9% according to CoinMarketCap, with the Ether dominance at 10.1%. Checking out top 100 crypto gainers in the past 24 hours. We have Cake leading the pack, followed by Sonic and Tron, but very modest gains as the majority of the market is correcting and in the red. And checking out the crypto bubbles, we get a visual perspective on the day. As you can see, the bulk of the market in the red, I'd say 80-20 red over green. And zooming out on the monthly, 90-10 red over green, but a lot of these alts correcting massively, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus %. And checking out the Crypto Get Info Index. Today we're 54 neutral, yesterday a 50, last week at 46, and last month at 75 in greed. And checking out the time chain calendar, we are on block height number 884,059. We have 165,941 blocks into the next halving of 2028. And you can currently exchange one fiat monopoly dollar for 1,030 sats. So stack the sats, put down the gats, and pick up some Bitcoin caps from my man Sergio over at Bitcoin Caps. .net. Number one Bitcoin hats there are, hands down. And for the number one Bitcoin music channel, make sure you guys are subscribed to Chandy 10 Music. She produced not only the theme song, but virtually all the music we play here in the stream. And most of the songs have incredible music videos that go along with the Bitcoin Jammy Jams I call Chandy Jams. So if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. Chandy 10 Music over on YouTube and X. And if you don't know, now you know, broskies. I keep voting fear to scare the noobs. I mean, it is what it is. Get a flamethrower short coin like Facts. You can't go wrong with the flamethrower. Yeah, I mean, remember when Elon produced that flamethrower and it sold out? I wonder how many of you ordered the flamethrower. Let me know. I mean, what's a broski without a flamethrower? Sometimes you need a flamethrower just to light the stogie or to light the sage. I mean, I got a mini flamethrower. We call it a torch, but teach their own. Again, welcome everyone joining us. I'm going to check the X feed again. We'll jam out to some Chandy Jams as we do each and every day. And welcome everybody. Let's blow up the stream. Already 600 people here live and in the flesh.
Oh, bring me up, bitty glow. Prize discovery, yeah, let it show. Bang, 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 like a B-52, we built a bitty.
Stacked revolutionary love shack, boo. I'm stacking sats like it's Max and Stacy. Stacking sats cause tax is crazy. I'm stacking sats cause the IMF hates me. Stacking sats cause the haters don't faze me. No Diddy, no Jay-Z. Stacking the bitty like it's Nipsey and JV. Stacking the bitty like it's paper and Chandy. Stacking BTC like caffeine in my canteen. Life is a game of chess that makes biddies the damn queen. Stacking BTC till they cancel me and I can't stream. Like Biggie, it was all a dream. Now the biddy has set me free.
Going, let's biddy up, babe. Bang, bang on the door, baby, never let it fade. Auto house strong, yeah, we built it this way. No one to hold them, yeah, we're holding, never folding.
Thank you guys again. I just hit everyone back with a repost as well as from my secondary account, which is BTC News Alerts. For those that don't know, this is my actual secondary account I created when I was in El Salvador a few weeks back. And this is what it looks like, just so you know. There's only 130 followers because I just created it, but it allows me to repost you guys from the other account, and ultimately we can get more eyeballs on the stream. So it's a win-win, but that is my account. But beware of imposters. There's probably a dozen fake accounts out there. They don't allow you to have a second account verified, hence why I can't ever verify this account because my main account is verified. But I just wanted to point that out. If you ever see that account, it is actually me. I'm using it as like a backup secondary account, just FYI.
I've always been a rapper, honky cracker, but now I'm a pastor, Bitcoin stacker. Now I'm a master of the Bitcoin standard. Hit 'em up faster than the Bitcoin panda. You can't touch me with your shitcoin flow.
Like, do you even Bitcoin, bro? let me know. But yeah, I heard you guys asking about the Nippinator earlier. He is doing better. He's just downstairs chillaxing. Let's go, JV. Shout out Griffin BTC. Shout out our one and only Oracle. Good to have you on the live stream. I'm going to be pulling up the live charts here like we did yesterday. Yeah, and keep the comments flowing. I appreciate it. We have a 100% like/heart to repost ratio right now, which is like unheard of. So thank you guys for all the incredible support. We're blowing up this stream as we always do. But let's dive into today's technical analysis, aka astrology for the broskies. But first, I want to share some of the breaking news for some tweets I have pulled up for you. Bitcoin price follows the hash. As you know, new all-time highs in play, a new record Bitcoin computing mining hash rate, which means the Bitcoin network is more secure than it's ever been. I don't even know. I'm not even going to pretend to understand how to pronounce this number because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 commas. If one of you guys know how to say that number, let me know. And checking this out, this is breaking news. Senator Ron Paul, or I don't know if it's Rand Paul, calls for Elon Musk's Doge to audit the U.S. gold reserves at Fort Knox to ensure it's still there. My two Satoshis tell me I highly doubt the Fort Knox gold reserves are still there because, and I mean all of it, because unlike the Bitcoin network, which gets audited every 10 minutes, TikTok next block, gold has not been audited in over 60 years. So smart move from Elon. And do you think they'll actually ever do that? Or do you think they won't because they're hiding something? You let me know your two Satoshis. And yeah, we'll pull up some of the live charts here for you guys via TradingView, via Coinbase. And again, welcome everyone just joining the live stream. Here we have the live charts pulled up. Happy 420. It is 420 here in beautiful Puerto Rico. And yeah, here you have it. On the 1 hour chart, we have a very bullish 106,000 target awaiting, which you can clearly see in the blue. And right under that, we have another bull target sitting just shy of 104,000. Again, all on the hourly chart. Zooming out from the hourly, we'll take a quick look at the 4 hour. And the 4 hour says it's going up forever, JV. And as you can see, we have the orange super bull target of 130. Current all-time high is 109.3, which means when we enter 109, we'll re-enter price discovery. And the next leg up, in my humble opinion, will be somewhere between 120 and 130,000. Let me know if you agree or disagree. We also have another bull target sitting at 104,000 on the 4 hour chart. And then there's some bear targets, but who cares about what the bears think? You feel me? And zooming out on the daily, we are in a bull, obviously, so who cares about the bear? Rising wedgie formation sensation on the daily, and zooming out for the weekly, we'll still have the sexy cup and handle target, which has been on here for months. You can see sitting at $124,000 in the pinkish red. When do you think we'll hit that? My two Satoshis is telling me before the end of Q1, which means before the end of March, meaning we're in the thick of it. We're halfway through Q1 right now. And zooming out from the weekly, take a quick look at the 1 month, and the 1 month chart shows you thus far for the month of February has been a little bearish. Last month for January, we did close in the green, and then December was a corrective itty bitty red, and then November we had the big Godzilla Bitcoin candle appreciation of roughly 30,000 via fiat, which was the biggest monthly candle close we have ever seen since the inception of the Genesis block. And if you don't know, now you know. But you guys let me know your thoughts. Where do you feel the price action likely to take us next? What are your targets for the end of Q1 or the end of February? Let me know. And yes, Bitcoin's exhibiting a protracted accumulation consolidation for a year. When it gives, it'll be big. We're waiting for our offer for the 20 acres in Montana. Put in the offer yesterday. Fingers crossed. Short coin, keep us up to date. Good luck. You can see and grow a lot of veggies for the decent animals on the 20 acres. Amen to that. Happy Sunday, y'all. Shout out the one and only Rock Mama holding it down. I like gold, but when I'd have to bury it, I hate digging it. Exactly. Wisconsin is bullish on snow and freezing temperatures. You got that right. Yes, that's crazy. I'd budge. Word, got one. Useless, says Adam. What do you got one of there, brother? Do let me know. And I'm going to check the comments again. We already got 900 people on the stream. Please repost this if you're being entertained or if you get any level of value out of this. And as you know, there's never investment advice given during my live streams. Everything I do is for entertainment purposes only. Are you not entertained? Let's get back 100 G's. 100 G's is inevitable. I think we recaptured it 100,000 times since we first hit it. I believe that was back in November. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's a freaking winter wonderland in Wisconsin. Shout out Michael Ash. Good to have you, brother. It was an honor to meet you at the party. And man, I know it's cold out there where you're at. So try to stay indoors and stay warm, please. Like the Nippinator in his blanket. Even though the Nippinator is downstairs, I digress.
Like, do you even Bitcoin, bruh? Let me know. Welcome to the Bitcoin show. Now listen up closely, low-key, stacking BTC like Satoshis. In El Salvador with my Bitcoin broskies, raising up the biddy like Gohan. Living in a huddle house, we're not the pawns.
Thank you, Oracle, for the repost. I'm, again, checking X as often as I can because you guys are amazing. I appreciate it, and I just reposted you. Shout out to the Rock Mama. Come hang with the Huddle Gang on a beautiful Sunday. Do you even Bitcoin, bro? Let us know. Welcome to the Bitcoin show. Now listen up closely, low-key, stacking BTCs like Satoshis in El Salvador with my Bitcoin broskies. Thank you, Shelton. Just reposted you. Join JB and the CNA crew for the best crypto news. And shout out to the Bad B. Greatly appreciate you. And the rest of the family, Adam Taylor, thank you, thank you.
Let's biddy up, babe. Bang, bang on the door, baby, never let it fade. Huddle house strong, yeah, we built it this way. No one to hold 'em, yeah, we're holding, never folding.
Bitcoin's ripping like a new Scottie Pippen.
The Bitcoins are ripping like a new Scottie Pippen. Shout out to Chandy 10 Music for producing the #1 Bitcoin music on the entire planet we call Earth. And yeah, we have lots to share today. Subscribe to the pod. Thank you, guys. Everyone who subscribes to the channel will get an on-screen shout out, as we always do. So thank you guys in advance, such as Jose Mendoza. I appreciate you subbing to the channel. Also, Tom Brown and Scott Bullen. Thank you, guys. Much appreciated. We have about 1,000 people on the stream, so we got a full house. I love to see it. Let's continue with some of the headlines here. We broke down the TA. So next up, we're going to be discussing Texas adoption. Texas Bitcoin Reserve hearing symbolic move for the crypto. That's right. The Texas Senate is set to hold a public hearing on February 18th. That would mean Tuesday to discuss the establishment of the Bitcoin Reserve. But market analysts say the move may be largely symbolic unless the state announces an immediate investment plan. Well, fingers crossed, broskies. The first public hearing for the establishment of a potential strategic Bitcoin reserve in Texas is scheduled February 18th, this Tuesday, less than a week after the bill was received by the Secretary of the Senate. Getting ish done. According to the Texas government website, as outlined right here on your screen under Bill SB 21. That's a blackjack, baby. Despite being a positive step for the Bitcoin adoption, the hearing may only represent a symbolic move for the crypto markets. Texas considering Bitcoin as a reserve asset is another chess move in the Bitcoin march towards institutional legitimacy. But state-level initiatives often make ripples, not waves, compared to the ETF inflows or corporate treasury allocations. Quoting them here, unless the hearing unveils a near-term purchase plan or a major policy shift, the market's response will likely be mild, as Texas's pro-crypto stance is already well known. Let me know if you agree, disagree with that. Bitcoin has lacked the upside momentum, trading under the 100,000 psychological mark for the past 9 days. Since February 7th, in the near term, Bitcoin will remain pressured by the ongoing trade tensions between the U.S. and China, according to Vugar, chief operating officer over at Bitget, quoting him here, while this headwind remains in the market, where President Trump eyeing more tariff hikes in the coming week, Bitcoin traded with resilience. And with the U.S. retaining its stance as the largest capital market, geopolitical tensions may continue to witness the headwinds for the biddy. And while positive news around the Bitcoin Reserve legislation is a welcome sign of continued institutional adoption, or as I say, institutional FOMO like a mofo, Bitcoin's trajectory is mainly driven by the U.S. Fed's monetary policy path. As they outline here, crypto markets tend to price in expected developments, and while this hearing may add to Bitcoin's long-term adoption story, macro forces like the Fed policy and regulatory shifts remain the real power players in shaping the Bitcoin trajectory. I dare say Bitcoin's on its own trajectory, and Bitcoin doesn't need nobody. We need the biddy. And that goes for the politicians, the countries, the sovereign wealth funds, all that. Texas's push for the Bitcoin Reserve reflects the broader economic and political shift other states are also implementing. Similar legislation, you got Kentucky, became the 16th U.S. state to introduce legislation aimed at establishing the Bitcoin Reserve, allocating up to 10% of the excess state reserves in digital assets. And now there's roughly 30 U.S. states proposing some form of Bitcoin adoption, whether it's a strategic reserve or for the treasury or for the pension fund or the sovereign wealth funds, etc. So sign of the times as the global hash wars continue around the world. And welcome again, anyone joining the live stream. Already over 1,100 people here live and in the flesh. Shout out Bring Facts. You can see I'm rocking the custom shirt you brought me here in Puerto Rico, which I love, by the way. So thank you again, brother. What up, CNA fam? Shout out Jason Buck. What it do? Good to have you here with us this fine Sunday. Shout out Tom Beasley. What it do? Colorado in the building. Some of the best strands ever known to mankind come from Bring Facts, and that's a fact. Jack, that's a black Jack.
80 G's, we're royalty, bitty kings and queens, manifesting the kingdom that's finally come, playing chess moves, checkmate, we won.
We're raising the roof in El Salvador. Freedom flows, IMF can't hold us no more.
Let's go. Shout out to the Panda Banda and Adam Taylor, and just reposted the two of you. Shout out Pam Powers, great show. Thank you. I just reposted your comment. And thank you again, JC Ice. You're the bomb diggity. Stacking BTC like Tate versus the BBC. Stacking the biddy like BTC OGs.
Stacking BTC like Tate versus the BBC. Stacking the biddy like BTC OGs. Stacking BTC on Lightning with no fees. Stacking BTC like Snoop Dogg rolls weed. Stacking BTC like Scarface with a nosebleed. Stacking BTC like Shinobi, nobody knows me. Stacking BTC like everyone owes me. Stacking BTC like Max and John McAfee. Stacking BTC, accumulating sats so rapidly, so happily. Stacking BTC so casually, no casualties of galaxies around Earth fallacies. Stacking BTC on a flat earth with no gravity. Stacking BTC cause Bitcoin is your majesty.
Dong, let's biddy up, babe. Bang, bang on the door, baby, never let it fade. Hollow house strong, yeah, we built it this way. Know when to hold 'em, yeah, we're
holding, never folding. Amen to that. And again, shout out Chandy 10 Music for producing that epic jam we co-wrote together. One of my favorite hooks of all time. That's definitely one of my favorite songs. Show your support for JV and the CNA fam. Hit that like button. Yeah, it's free to do so. If you really want to support us, the greatest thing you can do is simply hit the like, subscribe over on YouTube, and then just repost the stream on X, comment or quote, and I'll repost your comment or quote, and we'll get more eyeballs on the stream, hack the algorithm as we do each and every day. Over 1,200 people already here, and if we can flip back in the green before the end of the stream, then we'll flip it to a pump watch, and we'll stick around an extra 3 hours for you guys. Let me know if that sounds good. And again, thank you guys for all the warm comments and all the love. You guys are too kind. But we're going to continue with the news. I do got a lot to share. Fresh cup of the Nespresso, loading the bong for the fresh rip. Life is good. Glad to see you're living your best life there, Joe. Yes, worked SJ till 2 a.m. Oh, word up. How'd the DJing go, broski? I know you've been busy there. I appreciate you tuning in live. Don't forget to smash the likes. Thank you, Rock Mama. But let's continue with the news. Here's the latest with Javier Milei. I'm sure you've heard the news we touched upon yesterday. Javier Milei, who is the president of Argentina, risked impeachment after endorsing a 107 million Libra rug pull, which led to billions of dollars being wiped out of the market cap within minutes upon launch, which is mind-boggling to say the least. But let's break this down, and then I'll provide some Satoshi insights for you. Argentine President Milei is facing calls for impeachment after endorsing a crypto project that collapsed and what analysts are calling a massive insider scam. Womp womp. The Solana native Libra token started its rally on Valentine's Day, February 14th, shortly after Milei posted about the project on X, formerly Twitter. His now deleted post, why are we deleting posts here, Javier, included a website and contract address for the token, which was a private project dedicated to encouraging the growth of the Argentine economy. I mean, here's the receipts right here. Javier Milei posted this clearly, as you can see. Now, the Libra token briefly rose to a peak market cap of $4.5 billion at 10:30 p.m. February 14th, before falling over 94% to a $257 million market cap in just 11 hours since the token debuted for trading on decentralized exchanges, according to the DEX screener data. And here's an actual picture of their chart, the all-time chart, which, oh my God, depressing. Milei may now face the risk of impeachment. Was it worth it, Javier? After Argentina's fintech chamber acknowledged that the case may be a rug pull, Clearly looks like one. Quoting Reuters, this scandal, which embarrasses us on the international scale, requires us to launch an impeachment request against the president. Interesting. And that was according to the opposition lawmaker Leonardo Santoro. And after the token's collapse on February 15th, the following day, Milei issued a statement noting he was not aware of the details of the project when he endorsed it, and that he has no connection whatsoever with the private enterprise that launched the token. This is why you don't put your name on anything besides Bitcoin, because it's destined to be rugged. It's destined to fall apart, and people are destined to be wrecked. And that's precisely what just happened here, and some people just never seem to learn their lesson. Milei also added that his political opponents will look to take advantage of it. Well, of course they will. Quoting him here, to the filthy rats of the political caste who want to take advantage of this situation to do harm, I want to say that every day they confirm how vile politicians are, and they increase our conviction to kick them in the ass. You know, every time you point a finger at someone else, there's 10 fingers pointing right back at you, Javier. I mean, come on now. But anyways, as requested, Milei, the anti-corruption office, is going to investigate all the government members, including the president himself, for potential misconduct, according to their statement on X issued by the presidential office. The statement also revealed that Milei held a meeting with KIP protocol representatives on October 19, 2024 in Argentina, where the company informed him of the Libra blockchain project and its aims to finance the private ventures of the country. Milei also met with a mysterious crypto entrepreneur, Hayden Mark Davis, at Casa Rosada, Jan 30th. Who was presented to the president as an infrastructure partner of the project, quoting the KIP project. Right here, all information gathered during the investigation will be handed over to the courts to determine whether any of the companies or individuals linked to the KIP protocol project committed a crime. And despite Milei deleting his initial endorsement, at least 8 insider wallets linked to the Libra team managed to cash out $107 million worth of liquidity. Definitely not a good look. This was doomed from the very beginning. This included $57 million in USD coin and 249,000 Solana worth $50 million, according to Look on Chain. Insider wallet started cashing out on the token only 3 hours after it debuted for trading. Kind of reminds me of the Hawk Tua launch, causing it over a 94% decline. So as you can see, definitely not a good look. And now for some insights. I actually put up this poll yesterday, got 107 votes, and there's still 6 hours left. If you want to contribute to the vote, you'll notice it on my timeline on X. But I said, Javier Milei, is he controlled opposition? Is he Bitcoin incompetent? Is he a shitcoiner, or all the above? 49.5% of you say all the above. 24% of you say he's just a shitcoiner. 19% say he's just incompetent when it comes to Bitcoin. And 6.5% of you say he's just controlled opposition. Now, here's a very powerful, actually, and then I have that one pull up. It might be back here. Let me see here. I guess I don't have it. I may have took over it. But anyways, Jameson Lopp had something stating, and I'm going to paraphrase him, but something like, if presidents of countries are launching their own meme coins to rug people and get people wrecked, then do you not think that the government will confiscate the Bitcoin through the ETF? And I'm paraphrasing, but that was the quote. And to me, that makes a lot of sense. He also put here, Trump tweeted, "He who saves his country does not violate any law," which is a very profound quote. And I couldn't agree more with Trump. But Jameson Lopp, some great insight here. Prove it, Trump. Pardon Snowden. We all know Edward Snowden is one of the good guys, and that he was exposing crimes our own government was committing. So if this quote is true from Trump, we need to pardon Edward Snowden and also Julian Assange. I just want to throw that out there. And until that happens, this is not true in the United States of America. But I digress. And again, welcome everyone join the live stream. What to do? Yeah, man. Let's freaking go. XRP looks so, especially once the SEC lawsuit is settled or dropped. JV, agree 100% about Javier. Yeah, I mean, you should know better. The only coin not getting rugged is the most secured network when it comes to cryptocurrency is the Biddy. So why not just embrace Bitcoin? Maybe because he's working with the central banking cartels and Bitcoin is perceived as an enemy, and Bitcoin happens to be the only cryptocurrency they can't control. There's no attack vector to go after. You can't change the protocol. It's not happening. But when you launch your own meme coin, you're in control of everything, right? And they hate that. They hate that in which they don't control. You know what I mean? Money existed before the state. Bitcoin separates money from state. Bitcoin kills the state. The central banker's Achilles heel is thy biddy. Maybe this is why. What are your thoughts, family? Let me know. JB, that would scare me. ETFs getting taken. I do not think it has ever happened. Correct, but they did confiscate everyone's gold in 1933, and no one thought that would happen. So the point is, if the presidents around the world are rugging their own citizens, such as Trump and Milei, just two examples, then what makes you think, what makes you so sure they wouldn't confiscate all the Bitcoin through the ETF? Why are you so sure? Is there even a 0.5% shot they can do it? Then I'd be very weary of these ETFs. And I'd focus on self-custody, which is going to lead into our next story of Plan B making the announcement. He's no longer a Bitcoin maxi. He's no longer securing his Bitcoin in self-custody, but he's putting it into the ETF, which makes no freaking sense from a Bitcoin purist. You know what I mean? But we're going to get into that. Welcome, everyone. Join the live stream. 1,600 people here live and in the flesh. I got a bog of the biddies, a bag, eh? But I diversified into more than just the biddies, says Joe. Word. I'm doing that in a few minutes, says Serge. If the state wants you, they'll take you. Precisely. So here's just a scenario, and this is something Max Keiser has proposed, so I'm just touching upon it. Max believes that the Bitcoin ETF BTC will be confiscated. Here's my thinking. Know thy enemy. Do you really trust big government that much that they wouldn't seize the biggest threat to their existence and the central banks in which they're working for? Really think about this. What if BlackRock continues accumulating at the level they are, MicroStrategy continues accumulating at the level he is, Mikey Saylor, and the rest of them, and let's just hypothetically say over the next couple of years, they collectively accumulate 5 million Bitcoin, right? Out of the 21 million which can ever be in circulation, we know 5 million of them lost, gone forever, which leads us to 16 million. And if BlackRock and the US government has access to literally 5 million of those, that leaves 11 million left for us plebs total. Then what if there's an executive order from the US government? And what if it's not even Trump, but the next president that takes over? You know what I mean? Let's say in 4 years. Hypotheticals, of course. And then, yeah, in the name of national security, we're going to seize all of the Bitcoin. It's a direct threat to the US dollar. And then they just steal it all from Coinbase. And Coinbase just hands it over to them because Coinbase is the honeypot as the custodian. How simple and effortless would it be for the US government? Do you really trust your enemies that much? And I'm not saying the US government is your enemy, but those running the government may or may not be your enemy. They may or may not be working for the lizard folk. They may or may not be lizard folk themselves, is all I'm going to say. So even if there is a 1% probability, do you trust that? Let me know. Because in my book, 50% probability. You guys give the government way too much credit. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them. Trust nobody. Verify everything. You feel me? Shout out Ross. He's a free man. You know who's not a free man? The guy with the last name Freeman. Ain't that ironic? Scam Bankman-Fried is in a prison cell, and Ross is a free man. Hey now. Welcome, everyone.
Holding, never folding.
Bitcoin glow, stack it up, let it show. Price discovery, patience, game on, let's go. Biddy up, Roger out. We're changing the world, there's no doubt.
And welcome everyone joining us, 1,700 people on the live stream as we approach the top of the hour. Welcome, happy Sunday, fun day, church is in session. Was Max right? Max is always right. Even when he is wrong, he's right. How do you like that? But I don't know what prediction you're talking about, but Max is always right. He's been calling Bitcoin the greatest story of the decade over a decade ago. Back when it was sub $1. I mean, you got to give Max a lot of credit. The joke is on him then, says the wee puffer. The wee puffer, eh? I like the username. Only trust Satoshi, says Rock Mama. Here's what I put my trust in. God, right? And Satoshi speaks to me through God, so therefore I trust Satoshi. And of course, the new chairman of the SEC, the only government employee I've ever trusted, is the Nippinator. And he may be downstairs right now, but it's all good. Show Nippinator some love. Swimming is the best exercise for the body. Swimming is great because it's easy on the joints, right? So, but anyways, welcome those just joining us. What to do? Are the Abu Dhabians smash buying this week? Oh, we're going to get into that. because according to David Bailey, what they announced is not all they have. That's just what they had to announce. So there's big things going on in the Middle East, as Max has been predicting for a long time, broskies. But is there a second best?
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.
I'm not saying I'm number one. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
There's no second best crypto asset. There's a crypto asset. It's called Bitcoin, right?
And it goes, da-doing, doing. The only one I trust is my mother and my dog. There is only one real way to fix the economy. Get the F off the deficit spending. And that's right. I do have a secondary YouTube channel, which is clips.cryptonewsalerts.net. It's for short format, shorts and clips. The one you're watching right now is long format, right? We do a 2-hour live stream each and every day, and we premiere the premieres, which are roughly 30 minutes each and every evening. Buy Bitcoin and Litecoin, says Bullish Charles. Well, welcome to the live stream. When is Michael Dell going to start buying? For all we know, Michael Dell's already a massive holder. He just never had to announce it. Maybe he didn't put it on the balance sheet for Dell, but maybe personally he is, because he was tweeting all about it. Shout out Bullish Charles. Appreciate you sub to the channel. No one Bitcoin live stream each and every day, 7 days a week. Happy Sunday Fun Day. Second best is more Bitcoin. Here's the 5 best cryptocurrencies. You ready? Bitcoin, 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 and Bitcoin. Fair play? I hope you feel better. Surge. Just take it easy the next couple of days. Subscribe to One Day of the Bitcoin Pod. You get an on-screen shout out. That's right. And it's never too late to comment or quote the stream. And I just any moment. We should be good. Thank you guys for the heads up, because if you guys didn't tell me, I would have never known. But we should be good on the sound. The adoption of Bitcoin is going to take some time, and patience is required. The price rise is coming, but it could take time. When one starts to see $50 BN size purchases, not puny 100 million purchases, you must be referring to billions. Word up. Say Biddy. We're so back. We are so back. The lizard folks try to shut us down, but they did not succeed. They did not get past the Nippinator, if you feel what I'm saying. Again, welcome everyone to the live stream. We got 1,900 people here. Let's blow this mofo up. We still got a lot of news to share, so let's just continue where we left off, broskies. Let's discuss these Bitcoin ETFs. Plan B transferred his Bitcoin to the ETF to avoid a hassle with keys. And this was actually the quote I wanted to share from earlier. You think presidents of countries will rug pull you with meme coins, but they won't seize your Bitcoin held by custodians? And I think he makes a fantastic point. I think people give the U.S. government way too much credit and trust. And to me, it will never make sense why you trust your government who threw us underboard frickin' decades ago. So shout out Jameson Lopp. I think the same exact way. And it's Max Keiser who's been predicting that they will seize the Bitcoin ETF BTC. Especially when you got presidents rug pulling you through shitcoinery, which is precisely what we've been witnessing in the market. Yeah, I mean, so here's what he also wrote. When you self-custody Bitcoin, you're strengthening the network. Facts. When trusted third parties hold your Bitcoin, you weaken it. I think he makes a great point there. But let's dive a little deeper into Plan B. He revealed he moved all of his Biddy from self-custody into the Bitcoin ETF in an effort to manage his Bitcoin the same way as traditional assets, which really defeats the purpose of holding Bitcoin in the first place. But I digress. Quoting him here. I guess I am not a maxi anymore, he shared, explaining that he moved his Bitcoin into spot Bitcoin ETFs so he can manage his holdings more like equities and bonds without the complexities of self-custody. Is self-custody really that complex? I think not. But let me know your thoughts, broskies. Not having a hassle with the keys gives me peace of mind. I think the opposite. If I didn't hold my own private keys, I wouldn't have any peace of mind because I don't trust the government. I don't trust the custodian. I don't trust BlackRock. I don't trust none of these clowns. But that's just me. But anyways, while Bitcoin maxis insist users should always control their own private keys instead of holding their Bitcoin on centralized exchanges, self-custody comes with the responsibility of keeping those keys safe from hackers. It's really not rocket science, broski. Thieves and other bad actors. But this was the official announcement. And when I first read it, my first 2 Satoshis is like, oh, it's probably April Fool's. And then I'm like, wait, JV, check the calendar. We're still in fucking February. That's not an April Fool's joke. He's being serious. He transferred his Bitcoin into the ETFs. Oh my God, nacho keys, nacho cheese. But anyways, Lucas Keefley, Chief Investment Officer of Yield App, shared that from a returns perspective, spot Bitcoin ETFs, future ETFs, and direct Bitcoin investments are essentially the same thing. Not. With the only difference being the management fees associated. It's not the same thing because if you don't own the private keys, you don't own the Bitcoin. Whoever the custodian is. All you have is an IOU that says you own the Bitcoin. So it's not the same thing. I got to make that clear. Plan B received mixed feedback from his 2 million followers after the announcement. He admitted he had no idea the Bitcoin ETFs were so controversial. Is he living under a rock? I just find this whole thing hard to believe. He wrote, in my view, ETFs are the logical step in Bitcoin adoption, next to holding your own keys. Out of curiosity, would it be different in your opinion if I were to have bought MicroStrategy instead of an ETF? Or would that be equally evil? Dan Held chimed in, that's not about being a maxi or not. It's about the individual decision of having an asset in your control or not. Do you trust yourself or do you trust someone else? And clearly, this guy doesn't trust himself. I mean, I can't make any more out of it. Thank you, Dan Held. Now, some users question whether the transfer would trigger a taxable event. Plan B said that selling isn't taxable in his case since his tax residents are in the Netherlands where there's no capital gains tax on realized gains. Instead, there's an unrealized capital gains tax, otherwise known as a wealth tax. The government assumes you make 6% return on your entire wealth and you pay 30% tax. Damn. So you pay 2% of your entire net worth every year. Good Lord. Bitwise Investment Chief Manager Matt Hoogan said the U.S. spot Bitcoin ETFs could be on track to see over $50 billion of inflows this year. So far, so good. Spot Bitcoin ETFs pulled in $5 billion in January, which annualizes to $59 billion in December. Hoogan and Bitwise Head of Research predicted the Bitcoin ETF inflows would surpass those of 2024. But I'm going to read this quote one more time. You think presidents of countries will rug pull you with meme coins, but they won't seize your Bitcoin held at custodians? I mean, let me know if that resonates with you guys. And let me know either way. I mean, to each their own. You do have the right of free will. I mean, you want a custodian or an exchange centralized to hold your Bitcoin, which defeats the purpose of why Bitcoin was created in the first place. We're here to cut out the middleman. But I mean, you guys let me know your thoughts and I'll read these comments out loud. Got my first wallet coming in tomorrow. Looking forward for getting my keys. Shout out Ricky Bobby. He probably deposited his Bitcoin to get the 2X in the ETF. Bobby, don't forget to get some backups. They are fireproof for your seed. You don't physically own it? No. You own it's the same as an IOU. You know who owns it? Coinbase, who's the custodian for BlackRock. BlackRock doesn't even own it. And how simple would it be for U.S. government to send the letter to Brian Armstrong and say, we need all your sweet little pretty bitties. Thank you. You feel me? And they'd have to comply or Brian Armstrong would go to jail. As simple as that. Do they tax the ETFs? Not my department. I don't understand the whole taxing situation with the ETFs, but you heard from Plan B, he lives in the Netherlands, and it sounds like he could somehow avoid the wealth tax. But for average people, probably not going to be so advantageous, I wouldn't think. The whole point of the Bitcoin is to self-custody. Exactly. Precisely. Cut out the middleman. It's like, do you trust your money at the bank? No, because the third party is the bank that's holding your money in control of it. Same thing with the asset managers or the custodians or the ETFs. If you don't own the private keys, you don't own the Biddy, and someone else is in control of your destiny. But again, if you trust Big brother more than you trust thyself. To each their own. I trust thyself more than I trust big brother. Get those likes up, y'all. I appreciate it. Keeping it crypto. Welcome everyone joining the live stream. What it do?
Vibing in the tropics, the air so sweet. Swaying to the rhythm with the Bitcoin beat. JV's on the court, he's calling the plays. Me and Serge ballin', winning all day. Starlit sky, strawberry moon. Dancing to the whispers of a bitty tune. Thirsty under a Puerto Rican hunger moon.
Libra scales tip to Aquarius charm. It's Bitcoin.
And we just broke over 2,000 on the live stream collectively between the three platforms we're streaming on. So thank you guys again. I greatly appreciate y'all. We hacked the algorithm here. The bankers must make so much money on the ETF fees. They sure do. Like button pounded. Thank you, Casey. Coinbase put a hold on one of my transfers. Oh man, they did that to Chandy, she told me. Where it's like she wanted to like withdraw Bitcoin and then it's like you have to wait like 45 days or something outrageous. Sucks to hear that. I don't know what exactly triggers that, but that's not a good look. Yeah, I mean, the whole point of buying your Bitcoin is taking it off the centralized exchange and putting it into self-custody as soon as possible for safe measures. Hey, JV, sorry, silly question. No such thing as a silly question. If you transfer some Bitcoin to another wallet, does the receiver gain just a US dollar amount or they have some physical? No, they receive whatever the Bitcoin amount is. So forget whatever the US dollar amount is irrelevant. So for example, just to keep it simple, let's hypothetically say you transferred one Bitcoin from your private wallet to a friend's in a peer-to-peer transaction. Your friend's wallet would have the one Bitcoin minus whatever the fee is, which may be pennies to maybe a couple of dollars, but it would be very insignificant. So another example, if you transferred one Bitcoin of yours from one wallet to another, that same one Bitcoin is going to show up in the other wallet. So forget about fiat terms. The fiat dollar amount's really irrelevant. It's just whatever amount of Bitcoin you send is what you're going to receive minus whatever the tiny itty bitty fee is. You feel me? Hopefully that answers your question. And I say there's no such thing as a silly question because if you have it, there's probably at least a dozen other people thinking the same thing and they don't want to like, you know, be embarrassed and ask a question they think everyone else will know the answer to. So it's all good. Happy to answer questions. The clip is on X and the Discord. Thank you, Bring Facts. 2,000 people on the live stream. Go ahead and smash those likes and share the stream. Your Bitcoin is still on the blockchain. Correct. And here's the thing. One Bitcoin will always be equivalent to one Bitcoin, right? So if you have one Bitcoin today, 100 years from now, it's still going to be equivalent to one Bitcoin. We think in these fiat terms, but fiat is temporary. Bitcoin is forever, Laura. So you got to start thinking in SAT terms or Bitcoin terms and forget the fiat. Fiat comes and goes. All fiat returns to its original intrinsic value. Zero. Just saying. Yeah, it's better to ask questions. We're all learning. We're all in this together. We got newbies. We got OGs and everything in between. We got nippinators. We got Peanut the Squirrels. Everyone's tuned in. Call me Dr. Doolittle. I was thinking about with the ETF, did they convert his Bitcoin to cash and then into the ETF? I'm also curious why he made a public announcement. Like he's proud. Like, hey guys, I moved all of my Bitcoin. It's like, that's a private thing. You didn't need to make an announcement. It leads me to believe as if like some lizard folks paid him some money or like bribed them to like make the announcement to convince other Bitcoiners to do the same thing. But it's not going to work. I can guarantee you that as long as I'm breathing. You know what I mean? It's not happening to my audience. Stay away from the ETF unless there's no other option for you. I understand in certain people's positions or predicaments, the ETF may be a viable vehicle or MicroStrategy, but you guys know where I stand on this. You just can't be too safe, if you feel what I'm saying. One Bitcoin is at 100 million per coin. BlackRock got the, what is that? The Tom plan or the Toon plan? The Plan B plan. They padded his pockets for shizzle. I mean, If I ever come out, I'll just throw it out there right now. If JV ever comes out in a future podcast and says, hey guys, I just want you to know, I no longer believe in the self-custody. I think it's a big mistake trusting myself over thy big brother. You know what I mean? I trust thy big brother more than I trust thyself. And I don't want to get into a predicament, so I just went with the ETF. Just note I've been compromised. I'll tell you that straight up. If I ever come out and make that stupid announcement, I have been compromised. You feel me? Like threatened, they must have kidnapped Nipsey or something really bad. If I were to come out and say that. Exchanges show the same Bitcoin in multiple accounts. That is why she had to wait. Ooh. So it's like a proof of reserves thing then. Then you've been cloned. Big conspiracy theorists here. Like there's plenty of clones out there. A lot of the politicians we think are human beings, I think are maybe AI clones or rocking the mask. I can't keep up with how many versions I've seen of Biden, right? Like I'm fully convinced there's actors playing these people, and that William Shakespeare was correct in saying the world is a stage. Maybe I'm crazy for thinking that, but that's what I think. Now I'm thinking out loud. AI generated JV would say that. I am AI, though. I have to announce it. I am an AI. I'm not a real human. And who you guys met at the 100K Fiesta in Puerto Rico wasn't me. That was just a clone, an actor. They're lizards and rats in human meat suits. That's what I'm trying to say. You see them glitching out all the time. MK Ultra, JV. You know too much, Don. I'm going to have to wave my MIB black wand and erase everyone's memory. Zap a doodle. And then we're going to strike the gong and send Bitcoin where no man has gone before. The moon. You ready? Salute. JB, is your prediction this year still 440? Let me touch upon that before we dive into the next story. 2,200 people here on the live stream. My personal thinking is we hit the cycle peak this year if we don't have the extended cycle. But just note, anything I share, take with a grain of salt. I'll be the first to admit I'm often wrong. I'm far from perfect, and I don't have a crystal ball. So with that being said, I personally think worst case scenario, bear case. 222,000. Should I bring facts? My base case, which I think is a more probable scenario, is 420. Yes, I'm base for the broskies. And then my bull scenario is 1.1 million. Max Keiser's calling for 2.2. We'll touch upon that a little later in the show. But those are my thoughts. You let me know your thoughts. Are you more bullish, more bearish? Holla at your boy. When government members start living 100K, should be all worried. Yes, need the gong, gong. If you want Bitcoin to become a truly global asset adopted by $1 trillion institutional investment, then in my opinion, you need to get off the fear mongering about the ETFs. There's no fear mongering. People who are investing in ETFs are not going to be discouraged to invest in ETFs because I have a personal opinion that I believe in self-custody because I'm just a pleb, right? There's certain circumstances like a Michael Saylor who's purchasing hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin like it ain't no thing. He needs ETFs. You know what I mean? Everyone, the world needs ETFs. I get it. Me telling you the importance about self-custody is not going to distract or discourage anyone who's already into the ETFs. That's not my intention. I understand. Let's grow bigger. Let the adoption go. But as a pleb, I like self-custody. That's what attracted me to the biddy. That's all I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? So don't blame me. I'm just speaking my mind. And I'm sure others can relate. 222. Sticking to my poo-poos. That's right. Shout out OG Back Row Crypto Boule. If I could have done it myself 5 times, I'd have 5 times the biddies. 5 times the biddies.
Astrology, we're disarmed, manifesting lasting connections on this golden shore, this legendary perfection. So good, we're craving more.
Give me more.
Coconuts crack, the fire pits dragon, flame lit Spinderella.
All right. Anyways, fam. One more comment I'll read and then we'll continue. My bear is 250. I have a medium level 337. But I just can't imagine a 1 million target. But I hope. Well, hence why it's the bull scenario. And I can imagine it. Because I understand anything can happen and that Bitcoin has no top because fiat has no bottom. But I'm not fully convinced it's happening this year. But a part of me is like, that could be the bull scenario if Trump actually does everything he claimed he was going to do, stockpiling Bitcoin, strategic Bitcoin reserve, making the USA a Bitcoin mining hub, because America, which is the leader of the free world, theoretically, other countries follow. You know what I mean? So it would be a big deal if Trump actually does everything he claimed he was going to do. However, maybe he doesn't do all that, and maybe we don't hit that bull scenario. I mean, we'll soon find out. But even if we didn't hit 1 million this cycle, guess what's going to happen next cycle? 1.1 million. So who really cares? Chill, sit back, hodl, and just shut the F up. And let's all get rich. The Biddy way. And thanks to Satoshi, of course. But anyways, let's continue. Next story of the day. Let's discuss... I forgot to update that on the sidebar there. We already discussed the Milei rug pull, but what we should be discussing here is the 270 to 300,000 Bitcoin price target. That's right, the bullish megaphone pattern. Let me know if you're familiar with the megaphone bull pattern, also known as the broadening wedge. Forms when the price creates a series of higher highs and higher lows. As a technical rule, a breakout above the pattern's upper boundary may trigger a parabolic rise. And this is an example of a parabolic rise, sending us to 300,000 per coin. Back in November, Bitcoin broke above the pattern's upper trend line and has since consolidated above it. Lagan's chart highlights base 1, base 2, base 3, base 4, step-like accumulation structures supporting the orderly price discovery process before the Bitcoin parabolic ascent. Here's an example. Base 1 marked the end of the bear market at the megaphone's lower boundary. Base 2, a bear trap that shook out the weak hands before the biddy reclaimed support. Base 3, a price expansion phase, confirming the step foundation with the higher highs. And base 4, the final consolidation before the breakout, signaling that price discovery is well underway. Send it. And here you can see in the chart, the parabolic curve, step-like formation sensation, sending the pretty little biddy above 300 Gs. Now, meanwhile, the Elliott wave theory projects Bitcoin's breakout targets, mapping the price trajectory following successive accumulation phases within the megaphone pattern. His analysis suggests Bitcoin is now on wave 5, the final and often most parabolic phase of an impulse wave. And as a rule, wave 5 tends to extend to the 1.618 to 2.x, the wave of the length, or wave 3, aligning with the Fibonacci base price targets inside the 270 to 300,000 price range. By 2025, you let me know your thoughts. Do you think we'll likely hit 270 to 300,000 this year in 2025? Holla. Now, an analyst compared the Bitcoin trajectory to the goal historic rise, suggesting Bitcoin can follow a similar path as high as 400 Gs, which is right in alignment with JV's base case 420 for the broskies. Using the power law model, of course, this normalizes against the gold market cap. The analyst noted the Bitcoin has never moved more than 5 years ahead of the trend line, indicating further upside potential. The bullish outlook is largely driven by the biddy's increasing adoption as a treasury asset amongst the companies, mirroring gold's role as a store of value. And what's the gold market cap at today's price? Probably between 17, 20 trillion. Holla, let me know. Even traditional financial giants like Italy's Intesa Sanpaolo have begun integrating the Bitcoin into their holdings. Let's go Italy, signaling growing institutional confidence in the biddy as a legitimate asset class. Historically, gold has been the safe haven asset for the governments and institutions, and Bitcoin is now being positioned similarly, especially with President Trump considering a strategic Bitcoin reserve. But let's all hope he doesn't turn it into the shitcoin reserve. And looking further ahead, Timothy Peterson predicts Bitcoin can surge to 1.5 million by 2035. Why so bearish, Timothy? Citing the network growth and historical adoption curves. Meanwhile, ARK Invest CEO, the one and only Cathie Wood, always up to no good, expects Bitcoin to reach the same price target of 1.5 million by 2030. Let me know if you agree, disagree with Cathie Wood and the rest of the family and the 400,000 megaphone target. Holla at your boy. Welcome everyone to the live stream. 2,200 people here live and in the flesh. Our next story is going to be our featured story of the day. Abu Dhabi Sovereign Wealth Fund reports owning almost 500 million worth of the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF. Also the latest with Nayib Bukele, Michael Saylor, and Max Keiser meeting up. And the latest tweets and everything you need to know from the Bishop of Bitcoin himself, the one and only High Priest, Max Keiser. And with that being shared, welcome everyone to the live stream. $1 trillion is a whole lot different than 436 million. How are you vetting this statement? I don't know what you mean. I discovered Bitcoin late. I like sub 100,000. It's never too late. because you got to project into the future. Yeah, compared to where Bitcoin was 16 years ago, you're late to the party. But when you start to look into the future, you realize how early you truly are, my friend. So you're at the right place at the right time. Edgar Cayce and Nostradamus predicted the Bitcoin. Man, I love Edgar Cayce, the sleeping prophet. I was obsessed with his story, accessing the Akashic records and all that good stuff. Yeah, I mean, one of the greats. It's snowing again. F this ish. Oh no, come back to Puerto Rico, brother. There's no snow. I Googled it. Has it ever snowed in Puerto Rico? And believe it or not, in like the 1950s, it was snowing back here. I'm like, no way. I couldn't imagine snow here. How are you vetting information about the UAE? It was announced on like hundreds of sources yesterday, so that's not made up. Obviously, Max has been calling it for a long time, and we've been discussing it before they officially came out and announced it, but it's official. Just type in Abu Dhabi Bitcoin into Google, and it's one of the top stories. That's why we're discussing it again today. We discussed it yesterday. This is actual, real news. That's not speculation. They actually came out and announced that they own 455 million, not billion, million worth of it. But according to some other insiders, they own a lot more. And this is just the announcement. We're going to touch upon all that. Stay tuned. Let's not jump the gun here. But welcome everyone join the live stream. What to do? 2,211 live viewers. The word is vetting. Vetting, eh? Are you vouching for me, Donnie? Did you see that post about the 12-year-old? I did not see any posts about a 12-year-old yet. Damn, YouTube continues to censor me. Damn you, YouTube. Yeah, yo, if you haven't figured it out, YouTube is one of the most heavily censored platforms alongside Facebook and Instagram. You know what I mean? Did I miss the headline story? Not yet. We're about to dive right into it. You're right on time. We're running a little late today. I guess I've been getting a little hype with the commenting, but it's all good. I'm going to check the X feed one more time, and then we're going to continue with our feature story of the day. Please comment, quote, repost. Let's blow this mofo up.
The spins and the fam's feeling.
Hot dealers unite, Puerto Rican delight. This is our night, keeping it tight.
Puerto Rico nights under Satoshi skies. Just try to stop this good time.
It's the number 11, won't you come with me to the party, I mean.
No bad wolf's gonna try, but bitty wolves
You can't deny.
From Bitcoin live streams to juicy by the sea wet dreams.
Strawberry goosey,
Sexy vacation.
sexcation.
It's an oceanfront kind of ecstasy.
And shout out Chandy 10 Music. And the other day, someone was hating on me. They're like, I could never watch a YouTuber who wears glasses inside. And it's like such an ignorant comment. And not that I need to explain myself, but there's multiple reasons why I rock the shades inside. Number one, I'm in front of a huge window and it's always bright and I have sensitive eyes. And they're prescription sunglasses. So believe it or not, I could actually read my screen very effortlessly and improve my ability to be a podcaster and a live streamer by wearing my prescription glasses, first and foremost. Second, it's for your own safety. If I take off the shades, it's like I'm Cyclops in this bitch. I got the laser eyes, and it's for your own protection. You know what I mean? So, I mean, chill. I mean, come on now. I'm not just trying to look cool. Maybe that's an added feature. I may look cool or I may look like a fool, but nonetheless, it helps me. And I like wearing the glasses, and it also protects me from the EMF radiation from sitting in front of my motherfucking computer screen for several hours a day just to bring you this news. You know what I mean? I have very sensitive eyes. I'm a very sensitive human being. And if you don't know, now you know. Haters. But anyways, some people just hate just because they have small peepees. This is very true. I've discovered this as well. Gordon Grote, LMAO. Wait, we're not supposed to wear the glasses indoors. Man, I wear my grow glasses indoors. Yeah, I protect thy eyes. You know what I mean? You have to protect your eyes when you're on a screen. Exactly. And not that I'm on the screen for 12 hours a day, but I'm on the screen for 2 hours before I even start the stream just to prep the show. That's 2 hours. And then I stream for 2 hours. And sometimes I stream for fucking 12 hours. And if I don't wear the glasses, I'm more likely to get a headache. I'm more likely to get irritable. So there's methods to the madness. You know what I mean? There's many reasons. It's multifold. But I like the glasses, and once I started wearing them, I'm like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. I can see better. You know what I mean? My eyes aren't strained. Oh, the sun's not harming my eyes from looking in front of the sun for, several hours a day. And no EMF, no headaches. It's like night and day difference. So if you don't know, now you know. And I look super cool, in my opinion. So anyways, if you stare at the screen all day, you've got to protect your eyes. Exactly. Hello to all the broskies and the baddies. Smash the likes for another one day of the Bitcoin pod. People need to respect our creator, or you are gone. Wop. Short coin. Fuck them up. Exactly. JV, do you follow any YouTubers yourself? I'll be quite 100. Most of the people I follow have nothing to do with crypto. Like, my life evolves around doing the show, and the last thing I want to hear is other people talking about crypto. Minus Max Keiser. That's my go-to. Maybe Max, Michael, and Jack Mahlers. Anyone else, I can give two fucks. I watch other things, other things in life I find interesting besides cryptocurrency. And I'm sticking to it. But no, I don't really watch any other people's Bitcoin shows or anything. I don't have the time to do it because I focus all my time on my own show. Yeah, I mean, and then maybe in the evening, I'll just watch things I find entertaining, maybe other people's podcasts, nothing to do with Bitcoin, usually. The 12-year-old that was talking about the Bitcoin in 2011 sent you the YouTube. Oh, I was talking about a 12-year-old. I'll have to look at whatever you sent me, so I have no clue what 12-year-old we're talking about. Are you referring to the kid that's like 20 bandos or something else? Let me know. But I'm going to take one more sip of the Spindrift, and we're going to continue with our feature story of the day. Are you guys ready?
It's a 100K moist bitty dream.
Puerto Rico, Bitcoin doing.
This feels right, no ditty. It feels tight, so drippy. I wanna hear you cry out my name. I wanna make you feel the bang bang.
Ding dong on my door. Watch how I answer. I wanna soar.
Puerto Rico nights under Satoshi skies. Just try to stop this good time.
But anyways, we're going to dive right in our feature story of the day here. Are you guys ready? Make some noise. We got 2,400 people on the stream now, so we're blowing this mofo up, which I love to see. And of course, let's get right into it. Now for our feature story of the day, Abu Dhabi Sovereign Wealth Fund reports owning 455 million plus worth of the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF in their newest SEC filing. I'm going to break this down for you. Also, as you can see in this headline, Nayib Bukele and Michael Saylor, Stacey Herbert, and Max Keiser just met at the Bitcoin office over in El Salvador. And I'm also going to give you the latest from Max Keiser, who recently tweeted, Max and Stacey strike again. The Mideast dam of demand has burst. $1 trillion buy orders on tap. I repeat, $1 trillion buy orders on tap. God candle incoming. $2.2 million biddy in play. Also, as you can see here, David Bailey, CEO of Bitcoin Magazine, wrote, Abu Dhabi has gone in much bigger than today's filing, meaning they own a lot more Bitcoin than they're even announcing. There's a couple of other GCC members that are making moves too. Was hoping this would be announced at the Bitcoin MENA conference, but they were not ready. And remember when we told you there's insiders, we have information, big buys are happening in the Middle East, that oil money is going right into the biddy. We weren't telling any lies. We have the insights, and we're just sharing what we know. Max also tweeted here, Bitcoin country requires fighting on two fronts. Number one, building a strategic reserve to prepare for for the self-destruction of the fiat money entrenched monopolists like the US dollar pushing central banking cartels and the global scammers like the IMF, World Bank, and USAID. Number two, to prevent shitcoinery and shitcoiners from entering the country by any means necessary. And El Salvador is the most successful country fighting this two-front world war. Bitcoin, and it looks like wannabe countries like Argentina and the U.S. are losing. Fact, the world is heading to a Bitcoin standard. No fiat money, central bank or globalist shit show like the IMF survives. Fuck the IMF. The Bitcoin office established the battle plan for El Salvador to win the global hash war in 2022, and the plan is working brilliantly. Never interrupt your enemy when he is making a mistake. Quoting Napoleon once again, never interrupt your enemy when he is making a mistake. Max also announced here the president has instructed his protocol team to clear his calendar for next year's Max and Stacy Invitational. And my understanding is tickets will go on sale again in May, and they'll probably sell out within 10 minutes. So make sure you're on the waiting list if you're not already. It's maxandstacyinvitational.com. And if you don't know, I attended their event this year about a month ago. It was February 10th and the 11th, and it was the greatest event I've ever been to for Bitcoiners. And you guys already know I talk about it all the time, but I love Max and Stacy and what they're doing in Bitcoin country, and I would not miss their event. If you get the opportunity to go, take advantage of it. And he even announces here, I just bought a sponsorship for Strategy as my personal guest. So what does that mean? Michael Saylor and Nayib Bukele are heading to the Max and Stacy Invitational 2026 in January. So I'm pretty stoked for that. I've never had the privilege of meeting Saylor or Bukele, and they're both on my bucket list. I mean, that would be a dream come true. So shout out Max and Stacy doing big things there in Bitcoin country. Now, also breaking news, Bhutan now owns $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. That's pretty big considering how small of a country they are. Nation states are here, and this is just who is willing to admit what they own at this current time. But let's dive deeper into the UAE and the Abu Dhabi Sovereign Wealth Fund accumulating hundreds of millions of dollars worth of the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF, according to the new filings with the U.S. SEC. So it is official. Earlier, someone asked, how are you vetting this news that is actually true? I mean, it's obvious. It's a done deal. They announced they stockpile $455 million worth of the asset management giant iShares Bitcoin Trust ETF, which we know as IBIT. The UAE Wealth Fund was established all the way back in 1976 to promote economic stability and prosperity for the nation. Then in December, Reuters reported that the fund became the world's top wealth fund spender, passing even Saudi Arabia, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And since the launch of January of 2024, IBIT became the largest ETF by market cap based on flagship digital asset. And talking about the BITI. And in November, it was found that IBIT surpassed its gold counterpart in terms of the net assets, despite BlackRock's gold ETF launching nearly 2 decades earlier. To put that into perspective, the Bitcoin volume eclipsed that of gold with the ETF or the BTC. And it only took 1 year for Bitcoin to eclipse what took 2 decades for the yellow precious metal. Is it really that precious? I don't even know. And according to the recent Bloomberg report, BlackRock secured the commercial license to operate in Abu Dhabi just last year and said it did so to work and move more closely working with the Sovereign Wealth Fund, wealth managers, and investment vehicles in the area. And as stated by Charles Hatami, head of the Middle East for the BlackRock, to Bloomberg, Abu Dhabi has rapidly transformed into a strategic location, proactive government policies, and commitment to the sustainable growth, making it an ideal location for the capital markets. Preach. And as you know, these gangsters, I mean that in a gentle way. Obviously, they're not criminal gangsters, but just Bitcoin gangsters. If you're to ask me, these are some of the biggest proponents for Bitcoin leading the world in Bitcoin adoption. They just met up. Nayib Bukele, Mikey Saylor, Max Keiser, Stacey Herbert. Yeah, the meeting of Bukele and Saylor was confirmed by the country's national Bitcoin office. They shared all the photos. However, the details of their conversation are top secret, but we know it's about supporting the Bitcoin and supporting Bitcoin country. Bukele and Saylor posted photos of their meeting on social media, with Saylor mentioning they discussed how El Salvador could help speed up the global Bitcoin adoption. I mean, there you have it. I mean, this man right here on the left, MicroStrategy, has close to 500,000 of the BITI, and the man on the right, obviously President Bukele, I believe their Bitcoin reserves are now surpassed 6,000 BTC, which is over like $500 million worth of the Bitcoin. Let's get into the more precise numbers. El Salvador added 1 more Bitcoin to his reserves, bringing its total to 6,077 BTC, worth 590 million. In addition, MicroStrategy, now known as Strategy B, purchased 7,633 Bitcoin, bringing its total to 478,740 of the BITI, worth over $46 billion. In 2021, El Salvador was the first country to make Bitcoin legal tender. But as you know, there's been a lot going on with the IMF. Bukele recently accepted a $1.4 billion deal, and then he started doubling down on his Bitcoin purchases. But it is voluntary if you do want to accept Bitcoin in Bitcoin country, just FYI. And I know from firsthand experience because I spent a week there and I was using Bitcoin when I was paying for my pupusas. And some of the vendors accept it, some of the vendors don't. But Bukele never forced people to only accept Bitcoin. You always had the option, US dollar, which is a currency, or Bitcoin, which is a currency. And then, of course, you have Tether USDT, which is considered an it's considered a registered security. Then all the other altcoins and stable coins are considered unregistered securities and are illegal to promote in Bitcoin country. And if you don't know, now you know. The meeting may have covered topics like Bitcoin adoption, regulatory changes, investment opportunities, also discussing El Salvador's Bitcoin strategy amid the IMF conditions and the future of crypto payments in the country. I mean, those are the OGs. And of course, Max is calling for 2.2 million in play. He's been telling us this God candle incoming, $1 trillion buy orders on tap. Let that sink in, because all that the UAE just announced was roughly a $500 million buy. Could you imagine $1 trillion buy orders on tap? That means incoming, family. 2.2 million in play. Let me know if you agree, disagree with the high priest of Bitcoin, and what are your thoughts? Holla at your boy, and I'm going to read your comments out loud. I wonder if they could unleash the beast at any moment and the price just rockets right on up. I do have some shoes for the Mac. You got some custom bitty shoes, do you, Fax? We just need to figure out how to turn off the electricity of the mining company so that the people can mine a few of the blocks. Max looks like he might have size 13 feet. Well, he has big balls, that's for sure. Perhaps a strategic denial of the internet service on, say, Marathon Ant via F2. Word up. I just bought 10 bricks of the Cuban coffee. Broski, you want me to send you some? $7 in Puerto Rico. Only $2.49 in New York City. Good Lord. Yeah, I still have half the brick left, and I just bought some Arabian coffee because I didn't see the same one that you got me. But it's all good, brother. Save the bricks for yourself. I'm sure I can order it online. But I do like the Cubano blend and greatly appreciate it. I need to order me some Bean of Fire as well and mix it up and try some other brands. But I had a nice cup of the Cup of Joe, and I actually made my own latte because I actually have one of those frappers where you put the almond milk. I don't eat, cow milk, but the almond milk, I put it in the frapper or whatever it's called. It spins it, makes it frappy, and then I pour it with the coffee, and it makes an excellent latte. So I greatly appreciate that, brother. Much of the unidentified coins, and that should last you a while. How long will 10 bricks last you? Saylor has the biggest bulks because he got in much later than Max. What's a bulk? I don't know that term. But yeah, Saylor didn't get into Bitcoin till, I think, at a personal level, 2019. And MicroStrategy didn't adopt Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset or put it on their treasury, whatever, until 2020. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it was 2020. And then Bukele adopted Bitcoin as legal tender in the country in 2021, if my timeline is correct. That's what I think happened. If I'm wrong, do correct me. If I ever say something that is off, you guys just chime in. But that's my understanding. And obviously, Saylor had the notorious tweet from December of 2013 passing on Bitcoin. He said Bitcoin's going to suffer the same fate as online gambling. Little did he know online gambling would take off and take over the world along with Bitcoin. So they did suffer the same fate. They took over the world. Crazy enough. Almond milk equals nut juice. JS, where's an almond's Nipsey's at? Exactly. You ever hand squeeze an almond? It's not easy. Got to have Bruce Lee strength.
No bad wolf's gonna try, but bitty wolves
You can't deny.
from Bitcoin live streams to juicy.
And by the way, welcome everyone to the Q&A segment of the live stream. We're 90 minutes deep. I'll stick around for another 30 minutes and kick it with the fam. And if we can flip back green, there's just no telling. We can be doing a pump watch. If not, it's all good. We'll have plenty of pump watches in the future. We got to get back above 100 Gs. Today is actually the weekly close in probably about an hour or so, maybe an hour and a half. I forget what time zone, but I know it's around 6 o'clock. Yeah, no matter what anybody says, it's possible to win the lottery with Tiny Bixac or Lucky Miner. Speaking of the lottery, here's a good quote. Bitcoin is like slowly winning the lottery every day, over and over and over again. Yo, Mr. Beast, he just had Beast Games and gave away a $10 million prize. I heard half that prize went to the IRS, meaning they took 50% in taxes. Imagine winning 10 million and oops, 5 mil goes to the tax man. Craziness. Shout out Jay Bella. I solo mine for a year. 0 Bitcoin mine. Damn. Making stuff up is what we're about here. Exactly. We just make it all up for entertainment purposes only. I know nothing.
By the sea, wet dreams,
Strawberry juicy,
this sexy vacation. It's an oceanfront kind of ecstasy. It's a 100K moist bitty dream.
Tell me more, boss man. My bitty king turns me on. Bitcoin. We're rebels, we're dreamers, we're the Bitcoin tribe. Living for the moment, I'm riding the rocket, living the bitty vibe. Bitty chemistry, bitty up, no diddy, get it up.
Getting wet with my Bitcoin. The doing. 6X1070 Ti. The IRS are effing criminals, so sad. The father needed to find a cure for his son. JV has the point. I mine so little Bitcoin, it is measured in pennies. And now we're getting rid of the pennies. Shout out Gordon Grote, what it do?
Getting wet with our Bitcoin. Doing, we're going coin.
Bam, bitty fam.
And again, shout out Chandy 10 Music. I'd love to play music videos again, but we had the audio went out, and I know when I reset it, shit's not going to work properly, so we'll save it for tomorrow. But JV taught me to think in Satoshis, so yeah, every day I have more of the bitty. Yeah, that's all that really matters. You just stack more sats. Don't worry about the fiat. Yeah, I mean, we're going to continue potentially with the same 4-year cyclical cycles. We'll have like a 2-year bear, a 2-year bull. So don't get so caught up on what the fiat equivalent is. Just focus on your Satoshis. And as long as you're stacking more and heading in that direction, more and more Bitcoin, you're a winner. Because we all know Bitcoin's going up forever, Laura. Make more money selling the hash browns than contributing to the Bitcoin hash rate as a single miner. I need to set up the BigSax. It does not run on the 5G ass short coin. Those Satoshis will be worth mo than the diamond hands. Word. I'm happy pennies are going away. Oh man, pennies are the worst. I guess they're great for throwing at people. Wop. JV, fuck them up. It's a miner from 2017. Oh, yeah, I guess technology is advancing so fast, they probably become like irrelevant. Bitcoin prediction for 2035. Do you got a prediction? Man, let me think this one through out loud. This ain't prepared. This is just me channeling Satoshi. All right, so I think personally by 2030 we'll be well above 1 million. I like to believe Max's 2.2 million target will hit the following cycle as the peak, if not this cycle. I'm not leaning towards that happening this cycle, but I am open to the possibilities. I know anything can happen. I'm not going to pretend to know what's going to happen because, again, I'm not the sleeping prophet. My name is not Edgar Casey, and I don't have a crystal ball, though I sleep with crystals and I have big balls. So I think 2.2 million, 2030 cycle. The next halving is in 2028. I think by 2030, we could be at 2.2 million. Kathy Wood says 1.5. Max is saying 2.2, potentially this cycle peak. And then I think the following halving will be in 2032. So if you're to say by 2035, I like to believe it'll be at least 5 million. And that's only if we 2x from the previous cycle of 2028. So, man, and that wouldn't be my bull scenario. So I would say anywhere from $5 to $10 million by the year 2035. That's what I'm sticking to. 5 to 10 million is my range between 20, by the year 2035. Let me know if you guys agree, disagree. I'll read your comments out loud. Appreciate you being here, Gordon. If you don't know, I'm here each and every day, 7 days a week. Took me a while just to figure out who Laura was. Yeah, Laura, I think it's Shin. She was the one interviewing Michael in that epic interview where he's like, it's going up forever, Laura. Because she was kind of doubtful. When I started, I had 8 gigabyte GPU, and now I'm pushing over 32. Word, blue 32. Yeah, man. And again, welcome, y'all. We got 2,500 people here on the live stream. We finished the news, and we're just chillaxing, reading comments. We'll listen to some more Chandy Jams, of course. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Let's freaking go. It's 8:32 a.m. Wow. I forget where you're at there, Adam. You must be in the future, clearly.
It's red panty night when you sign to find me, eh? Back at home with your wife.
It's a celebration. It's going up forever, Darth Melda. Precisely. Forever and ever. Every endeavor, we going up forever.
But like most of the people who are buying
I appreciate you, Greg. Respect.
assets at some point want to sell the assets at a profit.
Selling assets at a profit. You must be new here, lady.
People that use fiat currency
As a store of value. What do we call them folks round yonder? Let us know, fam, in the chat.
as a store of value, we call them poor.
I agree with you, Serge. The only thing better than orange panty night? No panty night.
Poor. We call them poor.
You want to hear a little bubble? I may have a little bubble.
Well. You know what time it is. Whew. We back, baby.
I actually got a couple of little bubble tracks.
Pump it up.
Shout out Little Bubble. Wish I knew how to make the time difference work for me. It sounds like you did because you're on my stream every day. So it's all good. Early bird catches the biddy, apparently. Don't you know, pump it up. Precisely. Here's the OG version.
Pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The Poor song is also Little Bubble. You're right. For some reason, I think the artist is Michael Saylor. I forget.
Pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up.
Let's get back to the jam we left off on.
People that use
Joe says, JV, great show, as always, great job. And something you mess with any other investments except Bitcoin? Me, no. No stocks, nothing. So, no. I'm all in, brother.
fiat currency, we call them poor.
And I keep just enough in the bank to pay my bills, right? That's about it. I do not hoard fiat currency. Fiat currency is for spending or stacking sats, and that's about it. JV cracked me up here. The Michael Saylor song. I mean, it's Michael Saylor's song, is it not?
Poor. We call them poor. We call them poor.
Hey now. What do we call him, Michael?
Poor. We call them poor.
Such a good guy. Fiat ECH. There's a name for them. Nipsey's still down. Yeah, he's downstairs. He's with my mom, who's probably petting him and giving him unconditional love and attention, in which when he's working, obviously I'm not petting him, so I would be down there as well. He's with my daughter and my mom, my two favorite ladies on the planet. And Nippinator's feeling a lot better, so he seems like his normal self again. He has like a few more days of meds, and he'll be 100%.
There's a name for them.
On Hive OS, I was able to check the hash rate through a list of the pools and pick the fastest. Nice. Yeah, possibly food. Exactly. The kitchen is downstairs. Smart man. Nippinator follows the food.
We call them poor.
Laserface, why are you so late? What?
We call them poor.
But anyways, again, welcome everyone here. About 2,500 of you. I'm going to check the X feed again. Again, any comments or quotes will get reposted as I do each and every day. Just added a pic. Thanks for the reminder. Shout out Michael Ash. We met this dude at the party. Awesome, man. And I'm sure you guys have been following, but we've been dripping, photos and videos from the party. I know yesterday Serge posted a cheers that we did and some exclusive content. So make sure you guys are following Serge, who his username is CryptoSurge1320 on X. Make sure you're following Chandy10 Music, and also follow Mike Ash, who we just had the pleasure of meeting at the event, Just Mike USA. And appreciate you adding a photo. Now it's easier to find you. Mr. Incognito Satoshi. But yeah, we had a great time. That's just one of the photos from the event. And we still have like hundreds of photos, haven't even shared yet. So make sure you guys are following us on X, and you guys will see the content over the next few days, few weeks, few months. Okay, like when you turn your computer on in Linux and Microsoft Windows, Apple interface, Hive OS operating system, it would open up the Hive OS screen. I guess the Hive operating system. Is that similar to like Linux, like an open source type of thing? I'm not familiar with that one. There's a name for them. What do we call them, folks?
Okay.
But yeah, yo. Again, welcome. This is the Q&A segment of the stream. So if you guys have any comments, happy to read them out loud. If you have any questions, happy to address them and answer them if I know the answer to your question, or just share my perspective on things. So this is your opportunity. And we are still live on X, Rumble, and YouTube. And for those that don't know, at 10 p.m. my time, which is 9 p.m. Eastern, I always launch the premiere. And for those not familiar with the premiere, this live stream goes for 2 hours every day. I then condense it and edit all the chatter and the talking to just pure news and content, which is roughly a 30-minute stream. So the edited premiere is 30 minutes, and it always goes live at 9 p.m. Eastern on the channel. The premiere is great for those of you who actually miss the live stream, or if you just want pure content and you don't want the interaction, the speaking to each other as we do in between the stories. We basically edit out all the speaking in between the stories and after the stories, and just pure content, which is the podcast version of the show, which gets syndicated on, iTunes, Spotify, and all those platforms. JV, what is the meaning of life? That's a fantastic question. And wow. Wasn't prepared to answer that one, but just channeling, thinking out loud here, what comes to my mind first is to experience love and light, to evolve our souls, to evolve our consciousness. I kind of look at life on Earth as a playground for us to learn and develop. I believe there's certain life lessons that we're destined to learn in this lifetime. And if we don't learn the lessons, we're reincarnated again and again and again and again until we raise that consciousness and learn the lessons we were intended to learn. That's my thinking. Can't prove none of that, but that's how I feel. But I believe if you learn the lessons you were intended to learn, you're not going to repeat the same karmic cycle, right? And you'll evolve potentially to a higher dimension or something of that nature. Let me know if that resonates with any of you. And that's just me thinking right off the top of the head. That's what comes to my mind first. JV, have you had any out of the body experiences? Oh, so many, I wouldn't even know where to begin. I used to do the astral projection religiously when I was a kid. I'd read books on separating body from spirit, astral projection, and go out of body virtually every evening. I believe a lot of us do go out of body. You just don't remember it when you're dreaming in the dream state. But you can be conscious of it if you train your mind to be conscious of it, and you train your body to be conscious of it. One of the most simplest techniques is stillness, breathing, focused breathing with stillness in the bed. And if you can be still and not move a muscle for a good 30, 45 minutes and just focus on breathing, you too will probably be able to effortlessly separate body from spirit. I don't do it religiously nowadays, but this is something I used to do when I was a lot younger. And it led me to believe that we're a lot more than what we physically see in the mirror, and that I'm 100% confident that we're spiritual beings having a human experience, because no one taught me about spirit in school. Nobody. As if it doesn't exist. And that's just for crazy people. But through meditation, I've experienced enough to know we're spiritual beings and that we are eternal and that we never die. And that's why I would never fear death, because I believe we would just evolve to whatever happens next. You understand? The same belief as the Buddhists, Christians, the soul is eternal, and it's a beautiful thing. It's all Chinese to me. I built 4 miners. I'm completely computer illiterate. Enlightenment has levels. I would agree with that. Absolutely. When will ETH go parabolic? Well, there's an old saying, a rising tide rises all ships. Just pray Bitcoin to go to the moon, and many of your favorite alts will come along for the ride. Apart from the BDJV, what is your next biggest passion? That's a great question. I do have several passions, and besides God, family, and Bitcoin, what comes to mind? Let me think about that. Some of the things I love is health and fitness. I've been, devout to health and fitness most of my adult life. I take it very serious. I treat my body as a temple, and I try to avoid poison because there's so much poison enough in this world. So that's something I'm very passionate about. Another thing would be I like the game of chess. It's my favorite thing to do to pass time. I love to play chess. I've been addicted since I first learned how to play in 4th grade. I play every day. So that's something I like and am passionate about. But those are the things that randomly come to my mind. Had everything needed from the start. Took me about 4 months to get everything running, word to word. Be water, my friends. Exactly. I had an out-of-body experience when I was 17. Saw myself sleeping, and there was a miniature bull light happening right over my body. Right on. I believe it probably happens to most of us. I think all of us, but I think some of us just can't remember. Play the 10 Bitcoin commandments. I can play clips of it. Due to copyright, I can't play long segments of it, but absolutely.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
It's the 10 Sass commandments.
I do want to play the full song of Blackjack. This is the 110,000 anthem produced by Chandy 10 Music, #1 Bitcoin music channel.
I've got a pretty bitty feeling. 110K to 111K, get that dealer to dealing. It's time for the blackjack jam. Let's play. I hold a bitty hand, bro. Stacking sats, no turning back. Chips on the table, sats in the stack.
Chips on the table, sats in the stack. Let's freaking go.
Bitcoin stacking is a high stakes game. We have $1 million claim. We know we already won. That's why we hodl strong, never fold. Got no poker faces on. We got that blackjack destiny.
It's a Sashi lunar dream. We hit 110 as green candles took over the sky. Rockets are taking off. Planes are on standby.
Tonight the sky is reserved for VIPs on BTC powered rockets. What a rush. We have a seat at the
I competed when I was like a little kid. When I first learned in school, our teacher's name, probably no longer with us because he was an old man at the time. I was in 4th grade, but his name was Mr. Long. And he required us to learn how to play chess because there was like a school competition. And when I learned, I competed in that competition. I got 2nd place, which means I didn't win. In my mind, it was considered runners up, and I competed in the novice division, which is beginner, because I just learned. But I've always been passionate about the game ever since I learned, and I love to play so much. I have no desire to ever play a different game. I just think it's the perfect game. I never get bored of it. I'm very competitive, and I can play online against 50,000 other people all competing to play. You know what I mean? So I play usually Blitz, which is 3-minute games. I don't like long games because I don't like, being on ETF devices too long. So I'm not going to play a 10 or 20-minute game of chess on a phone. You know what I mean? But 3 minutes, I like to play the 3-minute Blitz games. They're my favorite. And I play virtually every day via Lee Chess, which is my go-to app for playing my Blitz games.
Table, but never need to bluff.
But I'm nowhere near master level. It's like, you know what I mean? There's levels to this shit. I'm just like an average player in comparison to like, you know what I mean? The grand scheme of things. I'm rated on Blitz games 1600, which I would believe that's around where Andrew Tate is rated. His father was a master, by the way. But yeah, I would get crushed. If anyone is a 2000 score or above, it's not even competition. It'd be like me playing someone at a 800 or 900 score. They don't have a chance. You know what I mean? They're not going to win. And I probably have, just in the app alone in the past few years, tens of thousands of games. So I play a lot.
Yes.
Flip the next card, biddy boom, 21's the...
Yeah, that was a good show, The Queen's Gambit. Obviously, that was just a made-up story. It's not actually based on anything real. But I know, what's his name, Gary Kasparov, they use real games in the film. Like when she was playing, like in the competitions, they actually use real games played between the real players. But it was a fictional movie, but done very well. And it brought a lot of eyeballs to the game of chess. And nowadays, like Magnus Carlsen, who's considered the greatest chess player of all time out of Norway, they make millions of dollars. Like back when Bobby Fischer ran the chess world, there was no money in it whatsoever. Some of the classic games, I like to watch the classics as well, like, what's his name? Boris Spassky versus Bobby Fischer. Those are classic. But they say Magnus Carlsen is even higher rated than like, a Bobby Fischer, which is crazy. But yeah, blackjack, baby.
Score, blackjack.
You know who I'd love to play in chess? Jack Mallers, because he always speaks with chess references. Probably why I like him so much.
Baby, a 10 is up on the table. I'm sensing divine intervention. Now, dealer, please flip an 11.
Blackjack, baby.
Blackjack, baby, 21's the score. 110 to 111, we're begging for more. A perfect 10 matched with a sexy ace. Time to ascend, we're destined for outer space. That's an sexy doing winning pair.
Pretty much. That's a fair assumption there. Magnus is the god of chess. I saw him play blindfolded versus like a dozen high-level players and beat them all. And he had like a certain amount of time. So imagine being so good at the game. You don't even need to look at the board because you have photographic memory and you can keep track of multiple games going on at the same time with a blindfold on and beat all your competition. That's godly level. There's levels to this shit. Crazy. If you guys have never seen those videos, I encourage you to check them out. It's mind-boggling.
Bitcoin astrology is in the air.
So they literally can play. They don't need a chessboard. Their mind is the chessboard, and they have perfect visualization of everything going on. It's mind-boggling. Because you know in chess, there's infinite possibilities with moves. There's like millions of things that can happen. So it's just crazy. You can see playing black. Yeah, so me and my brother, he just went back to Florida, but he visited, for the party. We just went a couple of nights ago to the casino. We played blackjack. We both did very well. And I love the game of blackjack. I'm very competitive, and I think we were there for 4.5 hours, but we both won a lot of money. I was very grateful for that. But yeah, I love me some blackjack.
The dealer sweating fiat banker.
Also, when I went to El Salvador, we hit up the casino with the Bitty Broskies and also did very well there. At one point, I was up a lot, but I gave a lot back, but I left a winner. That's my goal when I go to the casino. I got to leave a winner because to me, it's all competition. It's a game. I want to win the game. And that's what it's about. Having fun and winning the game.
Folded, they tried to...
My broski is older than me. You probably saw pictures of him on X. He's 2.5 years older.
Bluff, Bitcoin's the ace. Humanity wants to heal.
So I'm the younger bro. I only have one older brother.
It's had enough. Through dips, pumps, and bends, we held our biddy hand. 10 and 11, we're on a winning streak.
And anytime I get an 11, I double it. I don't care if a face card's showing. And that's part of my secret strategy. We double up that motherfucker.
The biddy can't be beat.
Hit me again, I'm buying more sats cause Biddy is a perfect bet.
Oh snap. There is a really interesting Seinfeld and Kramer real life video floating around, and Michael Richards talks about playing chess against a homeless guy. Nice.
BTC isn't a gamble, it's a perfect money kind of asset.
JB, do you see most countries adopting Bitcoin? I do. I think more and more time goes by, more and more adoption. I think that's a given though. There's nothing revolutionary about that prediction. But I'm not so confident the United States is fully going to embrace it at this time, though I like to believe they will because I know it's in all of our best interests. I just feel like the people leading the show, like above the presidents, because there's like 50 plus levels of top secrecy above the president. Like, I view them as probably viewing Bitcoin as an enemy because Bitcoin is the only coin they can't control. And I say the quote a lot from Max Keiser, and I repeat it a lot for a reason. Money existed before the state. Bitcoin separates money from the state. Bitcoin kills the motherfucking state. So if you really understand the chessboard in the game of life, you realize Bitcoin is the enemy of those that control the fiat monopoly, which are the central banking cartels and the families that run them. So, but we shall soon see. I hope I'm wrong.
Generational wealth, yeah, our future set.
Doing.
Biddy has the green light.
But it does seem the smaller countries are most likely to embrace Bitcoin first, whereas the bigger power structures with all the power, like the United States, maybe the last. I hope I'm wrong. But a great example would be the Kingdom of Bhutan already has $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. And El Salvador, they're tiny country. I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 million people. They're the first. They had the first movers advantage. I think many more smaller nations will continue to do so. But just because it's a small nation doesn't mean it's not a wealthy nation. I mean, look at the UAE and Abu Dhabi. You know what I mean? Because those countries that don't own Bitcoin will most likely get left behind. So it's going to be interesting to see the global hash war and the game theory continue playing out. But it's good to see at least the United States making strides on a state level. I do firmly believe that many of the states will adopt Bitcoin, the strategic Bitcoin reserve, before we get it at a national level. Kind of like with cannabis, it became legal in certain states because there's less hoops and, shit they have to go through to get it done, less politics. But then at the nation level, it may be last. We'll soon find out. What are your guys' thoughts? Let me know.
The Biddy coaster's on an uphill climb. It's a hodl gang thriller ride.
Good questions. There's so many coins. Why can there not be another coin? Because Bitcoin had the first mover's advantage, and Bitcoin had Satoshi, and Bitcoin has already reached the escape velocity. No other coin can ever catch up, and no one will ever trust any new coin because there's going to be some creator and there's going to be flaws. Once something is created perfect, nothing else could ever replace it. It's perfect. It's kind of like the wheel. Whoever invented the wheel back in the day, they figured that shit out. The circle, it works fucking great, flawlessly. We still use the wheel today. So there's no need to reinvent the wheel. We've heard that saying before. Well, same thing with perfect money. It can only be created once. It'll never get replaced. It's impossible. Not happening.
Pretty Biddy looking drippy with that orange glow.
BTC goes doing.
And of course, it's the most secure network on the planet for securing data. And it gets more and more secure every 10 minutes. And it's audited every 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
It's lit, so lit.
And look how far Bitcoin has come. It's been 16 years since the inception of the Genesis block. What is Satoshi invented? Another one. I don't think anyone would care about it. Bitcoin's already achieved escape velocity. So even if there was a mysterious coin we discover in which Satoshi created, we already have perfect money. It's already adopted so much. I mean, look at BlackRock. Look how long it took for the institutions to adopt Bitcoin. It took 15 years, right? So maybe if there was a mysterious another coin created that looks incredible, maybe it'll take 20 years for that one to be adopted, if anyone even had a desire to adopt it, in which I'm highly skeptical because Bitcoin is perfect money. Perfect money can only ever be created once.
Blackjack, baby, 21's the score.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. JV, what it look like? What it do, Golden Eagle? Blackjack, baby.
10 to 111, we're begging for more. A perfect 10 matched with a sexy ace. Time to ascend, we're destined for outer space. That's an sexy doing winning pair. Bitcoin astrology is in the air.
110K, you say? All right, I like these odds.
But yeah, sometimes people hit me with the analogy like, but remember MySpace? They were first, and then Facebook came, and MySpace is obsolete. A lot of shitcoiners shill me this argument. However, Bitcoin It's not fucking MySpace. So comparing the two is like comparing apples and oranges. Though I understand the analogy and I understand the point they're trying to make, sometimes when something is launched, it's far from perfect. And it's not about being first, it's about doing it right. And it seems Facebook just did shit right and MySpace didn't do shit right. So they kind of missed the boat. But I would never compare a social network to fucking Bitcoin. You feel me? Bitcoin isn't money. It's an institutional asset now. And also, Bitcoin, you're correct in the sense it isn't just money. Bitcoin is also a network. There's Bitcoin, the currency or the network, and then you have the network. And the Bitcoin network, there's nothing else like it. There'll never, ever be anything like it. And as far as perfect money, there'll never be nothing like it. And as far as store value, there'll never be nothing like it. And as far as pristine collateral, there'll never be nothing like it. That's an invention that's like once in many lifetimes, my friend. So we can just be grateful we experienced it in our lifetime.
Mr. 11, hit me with
MySpace is like eCash. But yeah, yo.
an ace.
It's all in the cards and the stars. It's called fate.
Social networks are glorified chat rooms. Bitcoin is like X, and what X wishes to be. Will Elon adopt Bitcoin for X payments, or do you think he'll stick to like Doge and shitcoins? Let me know.
You step up, you step in. You're always a wolf on the prowl, taking me on magic carpet rides, stepping wolf style.
But anyways, fam, we got 2,700 people on the stream, so thank you so very much for supporting us and being here. I will be back tomorrow, same bit time, same bit channel. We'll have a 3 p.m. Eastern stream, and I'll go for a couple of hours. Hopefully, we can flip back into green. We do get the weekly close in roughly an hour. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's around 6 p.m. Eastern. So we'll see how we close and fare for the week. I greatly appreciate y'all. If you're watching the stream, you haven't reposted it over on X, it's free to do so. It does help out. We get more eyeballs on the stream. And I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's episode. Deuces.
They flew through the FUD. They knew they were lunar bound. They played in and slung